The synthetic phonics power pack is for groups of children that are struggling. They may be special needs children, or they may just be children that didn't get it the first time around. They'll have had some synthetic phonics teaching in the classroom, but teachers will have noticed that they're blending, they're segmenting, their knowledge of the phonemes, they're still struggling with that, and it's for small groups of children to work in school with an LSA, and then there's a parent pack as well for them to do homework. It can also be used with children further up the school who maybe have joined the school late. We particularly at the moment have a Year 3 child who's come into us with very little phonics background, and we've used the power pack to take him right back to the basics and make sure that he's got those strong foundations that he's going to need, and he's picked that up quite quickly. He's reading and spelling now, which is amazing. One of the things that I found when I moved back to the UK was about other programmes, and that it was a strange thing that they almost waited for the children to fail. There was very little support for reception children. Any support sort of started in Year 1. Now I think any reception teacher can tell you those children that didn't get it first time round, and to me, leaving those children to fail and then rescuing them doesn't seem to make logical sense. So it's about looking at those children and giving them something right then and there before they fail, before they get that I can't do it mentality that a lot of children get, and they get that really early on. So it's about stopping that in its tracks, really. The power pack starts right from the very beginning, and it takes groups of letters at a time and teaches the phonemes, helps them to blend CVC words. So there's 3 parts to it. There's a phoneme recognition part to it, there is a reading part to it, which obviously blending, and then there's segmenting for spelling, and there's lots of practice within those through games. The majority of it's games, and they're short burst activities, so they're 15 minutes with the LSA in school, or there's 15-minute activities for parents to do at home. So over a week you'd be looking at 10 sort of separate activities for the children to do at school and at home. The power pack is designed to work very simply. It's designed for people who don't have training in synthetic phonics, or who don't have a strong phonics background. There are 2 parts to it. There's a teaching assistant part, which has activities that are designed for small groups of children, sort of 4 children at most, that can just be run through the photocopier. All the resources are there, you don't need to go searching for it, it's all there in that week's unit, including word lists, and basically we've tried to include anything that you will need. And then the second part of it is a homework pack where the parents have some of the same games and activities. Sometimes they're the same as what they've been doing in school, sometimes they're different ones, but they're usually quite familiar to the children, and they come with explanations for the parents so that they know how to play the game or how to do the activity. There's extra support on the website as well for parents, and again designed to be put straight through the photocopier, 10 minutes at most to get your homework resources ready per week. The feedback from teaching assistants and parents has been very positive. Our TAs like the fact that it doesn't take too long to do. They can really have an effect without having to spend hours and hours getting resources ready or cutting word fans out or laminating. So that's something that I think they, because they can actually be with the children, they can actually be working with the kids. And also, I trialled the Power Pack, I gave, you know, samples to parents, to TAs, so it's written in such a way that people can understand it. You know, we haven't had people coming back and going, I don't know how to play this game, or I'm not sure what to do, because we've deliberately kept it quite simple, because that means that everybody can do it. You know, parents can take it home, and, you know, we've included lots of games like Snap and Bingo and things that are, you know, familiar but now have a phonics slant on them. One of our parents who who said the H word, homework, was completely forbidden in her house, and she didn't quite know how she was going to get him to even read his book, never mind do anything extra. Now says that, you know, she can't, he literally walks through the door and that's the first thing he wants to do, and she wants to do it with him because she can see the effect it's having. We now have a group of teaching assistants who are becoming more and more skilled by the day. They're able to spot children in the classroom who they think the Power Pack can help, and I think it just means that the whole school's really engaged with it. Been a few defining moments for me. We have a little boy in school who, to say he didn't like reading would have been wasn't interested, didn't see the point of it, very, very, you know, not engaged on the carpet, all of these things. And so obviously, you know, perfect candidate for the Power Pack. Has been working, mum's very engaged, has been working with the LSA now for, I think he's on about unit 4, so about 4 weeks in, and we give the certificates in assembly on a Friday, on our celebration assemblies, and he walked out of assembly with the certificate above his head as if it was the FA Cup. He spotted me in the corner, and it was really, you know, that sort of, look at what I've got, look at what I can do. I spend, you know, half my day giving stickers to 4-year-olds who appear at my door with a, you know, a board full of CBC words, you know, and it's just to see them come from children that aren't interested, can't do it, and do not want to, particularly the boys, to these children who are so proud of themselves, and see themselves as readers, see themselves as successful, which, you know, to me, waiting until they get into year 1 or year 2 to try and make them successful, well, we can do it now, and that, you know, that's a pretty amazing thing.